Perhaps you suffer from short-term memory loss, and I'm sure we all remember the Doom mini live event that took place just a few days ago on Saturday. During this event, we didn't just defeat Dr. Doom himself, but we also saw all of the Rift Beacons activate, while pointed directly at the tower known as Doom's Forge. As we know, the main purpose of this tower is to connect us to the underworld, specifically to an evil character known as Mephisto, and he just arrived on the island for this year's Fortnitemares event, brought an insane mythic along with him that's very similar to the Doom Island. But first, if you don't hit the thumbs up button on this video, exactly 111 days whenever you log on to Fortnite, this'll happen. No! If you do hit the thumbs up button on this video, exactly 111 days when you log on to Fortnite, this will be waiting for you. Choice is all yours, so choose carefully. If you want to go the extra mile to support the channel, just head on over to the item shop and input my code HOMAGAMESYT. But ladies and gentlemen, we've wasted too much time. This year's Fortnitemares event is finally here. We got a ton of awesome stuff to cover, including a brand new, absolutely insane Mephisto mythic. Let's get into it. Super quickly, before we check out Mephisto's new mythic, he himself has secretly been one of the main characters here in Chapter 5, Season 4. And just in case this is your first time hearing about the Mephisto character, he is essentially a form of the devil. It comes directly from the Marvel Universe, where he is a villain that rules over the underworld. Essentially, just think of him like Marvel's version of Hades. Without Mephisto, Dr. Doom would have never gotten nearly as close to taking over the island as he did. The main thing Mephisto did for Dr. Doom was actually help him create the brand new armor for his suit, since his old armor got totally destroyed whenever he absorbed the powers of Pandora's box. Speaking of Pandora's box, Mephisto actually has a lot in common with it. As you know, Pandora's box corrupts and manipulates anyone that goes after it, and essentially uses them to do the box's bidding for it. The Mephisto character does basically the exact same thing. He has this reputation known to manipulate literally anybody in an attempt to acquire their soul so he can be released from the underworld, which just so happens to be the exact way that Cynthia Von Doom, Dr. Doom's mother, passed away. So it is believed that the entire time Mephisto and Dr. Doom were working together, they weren't actually working together at all, and Mephisto was simply manipulating Doom, not just with the goal of keeping the portal to the underworld open so we can escape, but also to trigger a massive response from the Islanders, where they would point a bunch of activated Rift Beacons at Doom's Forge, but then generate enough power for Mephisto to finally be released. This obviously resolves the major issue everyone was pointing out with this season after the Doom mini live event, because with Doom gone from the island, we were all wondering who the villain for the rest of the season was going to be. And it turns out that's actually Mephisto, and he brought one of the most overpowered mythics of all time. But before we get to that, what's even more interesting is who's actually going to be showing up on the island to help us in our fight. A few updates ago, Epic Games actually added a teaser for these characters located in the Castle of Doom. Let me explain. So inside of the castle, throughout this entire season, you've actually been able to find this one mysterious statue that basically just has a massive ball at the top. I'm sure we've all seen this statue and probably just ran by it and didn't think too much of it. 3 weeks ago, Epic Games actually added a major change. You're now able to find a bunch of characters beneath the statue, seemingly holding it up. Let me break it down for you guys. So it's believed the dudes holding the statue up are none other than the Titans, aka the characters that used to roam our current Fortnite island before we ever arrived on it. You remember that massive hand that spawned holding Pandora's box a few seasons ago? Well, that is actually one of the hands of the Titans. But it gets even crazier, because the massive ball that these Titans are holding up is essentially believed to be a representation of the world, the 0 point, or essentially our current reality. Basically, what this entire map change is hinting at is that since both Dr. Doom and all of the powers from Pandora's box got rifted out of our reality, it means the only thing holding our reality up and keeping it together is the Titans, which is likely Mephisto's goal all along. Because now that our reality is weaker than ever, it's literally the perfect time for him to take it over. We just have to hope that the Titans finally make the return and do everything they can to stop him. Mephisto brought along with him one of the most broken mythics in all of Fortnite history, but also literally the most broken glitch of all time. Basically, all you need to do to pull this off is as soon as you jump out of the battle bus, just gonna want to begin making your way over towards the Nitrodrome location, because here in the center, you're actually able to find a bunch of vehicles. That'll be incredibly important in a second, but before we hop in those, it's probably a smart idea to get some loot, some weapons, and ammunition. And you also need to get some materials as well. Once all of that's been completed, you're just going to want to make your way inside of the Nitrodrome, specifically to this area right here, right in front of the fire trap. What you're going to want to do now is build exactly what you see me building, basically just being 3 walls. Then you're going to want to hop in one of the SUV vehicles that spawn here, take it, drive it into the walls, and park it exactly where you see me parking mine. Once you're here, go ahead and hop out of the vehicle. And last but not least, place a ramp right here on top of it, and the rest is easy. Simply edit the staircase in this little zigzag pattern, and all you need to do now is hop inside of the vehicle. And as you can see, ladies and gentlemen, we are literally underneath the map at the Nitrodrome location. You're able to see there's actually a massive area down here you're able to explore. Oh dear, would you look at that, boys? We got an enemy gliding towards us. Oh, and an enemy all the way over there. Got another one, boys. I see him running. Look at him, bro. Oh, we got another one over there. The downside here is you're not able to shoot or throw through the actual ground. The good news is you're basically in the dead center of the island, meaning you'll be able to survive here for a very, very long time until the storm eliminates you. Now, you also want to be careful that you don't fall off the edge of this thing, because you'll instantly be eliminated. Make sure you take advantage of this glitch and use it to rank up in the rank mode. I imagine Epic Games will be fixing it very, very soon. But that's not messing around. It's time for the moment you've all been waiting for, because this year's Fortnitemares event has finally began, and the new super evil villain Mephisto has now arrived on the Fortnite island. And as expected, you're actually able to find him and interact with him as an NPC. Where he's located is actually pretty surprising, because obviously we all thought he would be located somewhere near the Doom's Forge Tower, since after all, that was literally where he came from, and is the entire thing that connects us to his realm in the underworld. But he's not located there at all. Instead, we're actually able to find him over at the Brawler's Battleground point of interest. However, here in Fortnitemares, this point of interest is actually no longer Brawler's Battleground. We all knew that it was going to be receiving a major Fortnitemares update. One of the rip beacons during the live event ended up landing here, had a bunch of pumpkins surrounding it. Well, now this point of interest has totally changed, and it's essentially a location directly from the underworld that Mephisto originates from. Wait, it gets even crazier, because the Mephisto NPC will actually have some very special offerings that we've never ever seen in Fortnite before. Let me explain. So you know, earlier in the video, I mentioned that Mephisto basically tries to capture as many souls as possible, frequently makes trades for people's souls in exchange for unique power. With the brand new Mephisto NPC, we're actually going to get to trade souls that we captured from eliminated enemy players, trade them in Mephisto in order for him to instantly reboot all of your squad mates. Basically, think of the Mephisto NPC as a new form of a reboot van, but instead of collecting reboot cards whenever your teammates are eliminated, you're simply going to have to collect the souls of eliminated enemy players. But not only did Mephisto arrive as an NPC and also bring a crazy overpowered mythic, he also has his very, very own quest line here in Fortnitemares. In these quests, we're actually going to have to visit the destroyed ruins of Doom's Tower. Originally, we all thought this was a quest that was going to take place after the Doom mini live event. Lo and behold, Doom's Tower never actually ended up being destroyed. However, it is here in this year's Fortnitemares event, and you'll get a bunch of XP when you visit it for the first time. By far the coolest addition is the brand new Ultra Mythic for Mephisto. Let me explain. I'm sure I'll remember when a few updates ago, Epic Games added a brand new feature into the game, being a brand new version of the loot island known as the Isle of Doom. Now, not only was this thing extremely rare to find, as it only spawned in about 3% of matches, but if you were successful in capturing the island, it would grant you the Armor of Doom, aka one of the most overpowered mythics in all of Fortnite history, and basically functioned the exact same way as the Affinity Gauntlet we had back in Chapter 1. Obviously, everyone was incredibly disappointed when they found out this thing was only going to be in the game for a total of 3 weeks. Many players never actually got lucky enough to find it even one time. Turns out Epic Games actually had a very, very good reason for removing it so quickly, and it's not just because Dr. Doom has left our reality. Even though he's gone, all of his mind control henchmen like Doombot are still on the island. Whenever you would capture the island, you would essentially become one of them, meaning Epic Games easily could have let the island stay enabled and it still would have made sense in the Fortnite storyline. But instead, they were actually making way for a brand new loot island that functions very, very similarly for this year's Fortnitemares character Mephisto. Technically, there's still a chance that this mythic won't actually spawn on a loot island, and instead, there's a possibility it could spawn at the ruins of Doom's Forge, which would honestly be a lot better, since that would likely mean it spawned every single game with a 100% chance. You wouldn't have to get incredibly lucky to find it like you were with Doom's Island. For the way, Mephisto's mythic function still remains to be somewhat of a mystery. However, what we do know is Mephisto himself possesses superhuman physical attributes, implying that he has the ability to jump super duper high, just like with the Armor of Doom mythic, and has been repeatedly mentioned to be one of the only Marvel characters that are more powerful than Thanos. Don't forget, this year's Fortnitemares event is actually leading us into our second live event of the season. This live event will be much, much larger than the mini event we received last week. Be what's responsible for bringing us back in time to Fortnite Chapter 2 for another season of Fortnite OG. Chances are this storyline will have something to do with Dr. Doom trading his soul to Mephisto, either to bring back his mother Cynthia Von Doom, or simply to give him another shot at perfecting our reality. Hopefully, Dr. Doom doesn't end up making his return, because Mephisto himself is even more powerful, and having to defeat both of them at the same time would basically be an impossible task. But alright, ladies and gentlemen, here we are inside of a game, and the loot island should be spawning very, very shortly. Oh dear, these guys are trying to stop me. Here, buddy, where'd you go? Where'd you go? Got one. Thanks for playing, doggo. Yeah, this guy right here, man. Where you at? Okay. That was a close one, boys. That was a close one. Thanks for playing. You ready for this, boys? You ready? Boom. Good news is the loot island should be spawning any second now. No, but I got eliminated just before it spawned. Dang it. As soon as Mephisto and his Mythic arrive here inside of Fortnite, I'll make sure to let all of you guys know by making a tweet over on my official Twitter account at HomeAtGamesYT. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Have an absolutely incredible rest of your day. I'll see you guys in the next video.